What at, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lycos, and in this video I'm going to be showing you some of the best unit and nanite making methods in No Man's Sky. I make a ton of No Man's Sky content, so if you guys are interested, it would be awesome if you would hit that subscribe button. Now let's get into the first method. This is one of my favorite things to do in No Man's Sky because I love hunting really cool ships, and this also has the benefit of making a crazy amount of units. For this method, we're going to be using the fastest way to hunt down sentinel ships, and as you can see here, they can be worth a lot of units. Now in order to find these sentinel ships, the first thing that you're going to need to do is to find some designate systems. These are pretty common, and you can see right in the description of the system if it's a designate system or not. Once there, you're going to be scanning planets until you see in the description of the planet that there's a designate detected. And these are the planets that we're going to be finding the sentinel ships on. So this is the fastest method to get sentinel ships, and what you want to do is go down to the planet's surface, and then you're going to fight the sentinels until you get an echolocator. You can use this item in order to find a camp, and in that camp there's going to be a computer that we can use to detect a designate spike. Now you're going to have to figure out a little puzzle in order to activate this terminal. This is very easy, and then once you get that done, you're just going to detect the designate spike, and this will lead you straight to a crashed sentinel interceptor. Now before we leave this camp, what we want to do is we want to put down a base computer. You can build a little outpost here if you want with a teleporter, but make sure you put down the base computer and claim the base, because then we'll be able to teleport back here later on. We'll also have our base icon on our heads up display, so we can easily find our way back to the camp. We want to be able to do this because we can use the terminal over and over again to find more interceptor ships. This makes finding these ships really quick. So once you find the ship, you're going to have to repair it. This is actually pretty easy. Everything that you need is here on the planet. The mirror you get from taking out specific sentinels, it's easy to farm up a bunch of these. The radiant shards you can just mine on the planet. They're absolutely everywhere. And then for the brain, it's very simple. You'll get a brain from the crashed interceptor ship, just activate it, and it will lead you exactly to the place where you can get the brain that you need to put into the ship. So this actually doesn't take very long at all, and you'll have it repaired. Then we're going to take it up to a space station and scrap it so we can make millions of units. The scrap that we get from interceptors is worth a ton of units, and then on top of that we'll even get some upgrades that we can sell for nanites. And an added bonus to this method, you're going to be getting free interceptor ships, so if you come across a really good one that you want to keep, you've got yourself an excellent ship along with making a ton of units. That is my favorite unit farm in the game, and now I'm going to tell you about my favorite nanite farm. For this, we're going to be farming up curious deposits. Now it's kind of random whether you're going to be able to find these or not, but to give you a little tip of how I find them, they're on a variety of planets, but I know for sure that they spawn on snow planets, and I find that the snow planets or ice planets are really easy for you to tell them apart from other planets. So this way, I find that I'm spending less time trying to find a planet that I want to search for curious deposits. So once I find a nice planet, I'll just go down to the surface, and then I'm looking around for these yellow icons here. Now this is certainly not going to always be a curious deposit, but curious deposits will always have one of these yellow icons. So just go around the planet looking for these icons to see if one of them is a curious deposit. This might take you a little while, but once you find one of these, it is definitely worth it. As you can see here, these curious deposits are these large green balls, and you can mine these to get runaway mold. With runaway mold, you can put it into your refiner, and you can refine it into nanites. So you get a ton of runaway mold from these curious deposits. So what I like to do is to have several refiners set up in a little base. Then we need to start the refining process to turn the runaway mold into nanites. Then teleport up to a space station and then back to your base. And the curious deposits will actually respawn. So you can just repeat this process, getting the runaway mold, putting them into the refiner, going up to the space station, coming back down, while your refiners are making you a ton of nanites. And depending on how many refiners you have going at a time, you can make thousands and thousands of nanites very quickly using this process. Now let's talk about one of my favorite ways to basically passively make millions of units in No Man's Sky. For this method, we're going to be setting up a gold farm. So you're going to need to find a planet with gold on it. These are pretty common. You're also going to need a survey device installed onto your multi-tool. You can get the survey device on the anomaly. Then we're going to use our analysis visor. We need to make sure that it's in mineral survey mode, and this will allow us to find gold hotspots. Then once we find the gold hotspot, we're going to set up a gold farm. There are different classes of the hotspots, so you're going to want to find yourself an S class in order to get the most out of this gold farm. You're going to need to get a few base building blueprints on the anomaly. We need the mineral extractor, the supply depot, and a way to power them. So usually what I go with is the solar panels and the batteries. We're going to set up our mineral extractors, attach them to the supply depots, then make sure that we have enough power, and then you have an automated gold farm. Now there's a couple things that you want to keep in mind with these mineral extractors. You're going to be getting diminishing returns the more mineral extractors you put out. So just to try to explain the diminishing returns a little bit, I had a set of 5 mineral extractors connected together and another set of 10 mineral extractors connected together, and I was only getting slightly more gold with the 10 mineral extractors. So it is much better to have 2 sets of 5 than 1 set of 10. You can scale this up as much as you want, but of course, the more you scale it up, the more power you're going to need. Except for the supply depots don't require power. Now as for connecting these together, you're going to want to have wires connecting all of the mineral extractors together. You're going to want to get your supply pipes, and then you're going to connect your mineral extractors together, and then connect your mineral extractors to the supply depots. But of course you got to keep the diminishing returns in mind. I usually like to have 5 mineral extractors all connected together and then connected to the supply depots, and then I have probably about 8 to 10 supply depots connected. And then I'll have another set of 5 connected to another set of 8 to 10 supply depots. But make sure you keep each set separately so you don't get those diminishing returns. I have my current gold farm set up so that I'm getting around 10 million units worth of gold roughly every 7 hours, and that's with 20 mineral extractors and I think around 30 supply depots. Now this could certainly be scaled up from here. My plan with this gold farm is to actually double the amount of supply depots that I have so far, but either way, this is an amazing way to make units in No Man's Sky. The mineral extractors will be collecting gold for you even when you're not playing the game. So every time you log into No Man's Sky, you'll find that you have a supply of gold that you can sell for millions and millions of units. Those are some of the best unit and nanite farms that I use in No Man's Sky. If you guys want to check out more of my No Man's Sky guides, there's a couple on the screen right now. Hit that like button if you found this video useful. Thank you all for watching, and as always, stay where you're at and I'll come where you're to.